A very good morning to you. I believe you had an awesome week, and I believe you're gonna have an awesome weekend. As of course I am here. Of course, I'll make sure you have, and you will live to remember this weekend. Yeah, I am your boy Haron Koge. Yeah, on the mic. Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Tell a friend. Tell a friend. Yes, I don't know. Have you ever found yourself in a situation where you had a certain expectation about something or someone, and it actually let you down? Have you been in such a situation? How did you react? What was your feeling then? And how did it make you actually feel? Yeah, as you're thinking about that, there's this amazing song I really loved, done by SHARON, MUTHOKA, and FERRO Sounds. The song here is called You Are Good. It's actually down below there, the description there. Go listen to it, leave a comment what you think about the song, and yeah, we have fun. I believe it's a good song. What of you? Just go listen to the song, have some good time. Yeah, so back to the topic. So today's topic is all about managing expectations and how they actually affect us knowingly or unknowingly, because at the end of the day, when you learn how to manage expectations, disappointments won't break you. Just before we dive deep into that, guys, we know very well on the 9th of August we will be doing our constitutional right, that is to vote for different and preferred candidates in different areas, that is the governor, the MP, the women rep, the president, and whatnot. Let's do this. Let us vote wisely and vote in peace, because after that we will need each other and life will continue, and we hope it will continue better than it was. So yeah, that's it. So back to our topic, managing our expectations. I believe you've had an instance where you trusted someone or trusted some idea that you had, and it actually didn't work out as you expected. Ulidu nini? Were you in a state where you felt like life, or rather the world, doesn't like you? Were you in that state, and for a moment you believed, you know what, I'd rather just stop doing everything and live my life as the world wants me to live? Or you were able to sit down, relax, and reflect on whatever was going on? Because like for me, I have had instances where I was expecting some really positive thing from people and from life, and unfortunately never went the way it did. I thank God I was able to speak to a few people. That is also part of the solutions, to speak to a few people, and their views helped me in maneuvering a few things, and I came out victorious. Of course, the first time it was really heartbreaking, because I was also heartbroken. Anyway, that's a story for another day. We need to learn how to manage expectations so that disappointments won't break us. And the first thing that we really need to do is, when you are highly expecting something to happen, or to actually happen, always give yourself time. By giving yourself time, inamaanisha, I might be living in this business, and maybe I expected it to, as soon as I start and things are working, I'm making profits, and unfortunately that doesn't happen. So the main thing you need to do is you give yourself time. Give yourself some time, observe what is going on, because as the time you're giving yourself time, you learn a few different things. Maybe you actually learn, okay, instead of me doing this, let me do this so that this can happen, and that way you'll emerge successful in whatever, whether it's a relationship or whether it's a business, anything. Always give yourself time. You notice, like most of us, we do something and you really having the vision. Sometimes it actually in a weird way, it's usually very unrealistic. You just see, today I'm gonna, like for example, now I'm gonna have this video out, and I believe by tomorrow I'll have 1 million views. Truth be told, that's very unrealistic. So you have to give yourself time in whatever that you're expecting, so that when things don't work out as you expected, you'll have thought through and you'll have seen actually the signs that, oh, okay, probably this one is not gonna work as I expected it to. So it won't break you down. It will actually make you learn from that experience. So that is the first thing that you need to do. give yourself time. Usikuwe na ma expectations zenye hazi make sense manze, ama unakuwa tu unrealistic. Unataka kitu happen ASAP, umeanza leo na profits leo, kila kitu leo. So you have to give yourself time. On to the next one. We need to adapt to changing expectations. Yeah, as you're learning that course along the way, as you're learning whatever is going on, whatever you're doing, you need to adapt to that. Sometimes you have to compromise, sometimes you have to actually adapt. By adapting, you might actually compromise, by the way. So adapting basically means in whatever you're doing, things as you plan them, sometimes they take a different turn. And when you adapt, you're trying to understand what is really going on here. Adapting is twisting a bit on those expectations that you had to fit into whatever the course is taking actually, or whatever you were doing. And interestingly, you realize things actually fall into place when you do that. But when you stick to that expectation, like, you know what, I believe it's gonna work this way. Maybe in a relationship, you are having this person and they believe for this relationship to work, you have to give me the quality time that I deserve. And for them, they believe you have to give the gifts. Now, what you need to do is that you need to adapt to what they like. And when you know that for them, it's actually receiving gifts, now you start adapting to that. Maybe for you, you believe that everyone needs their time and for them, they don't. So you need to adapt to that. Give them the gifts and they give you the time that you deserve, and all of a sudden things are falling into place just because you are adapting to those expectations for them. That's only if you love them anyway and they love you back. So that should be reciprocated the same way. They understand you, you understand them. So at the end of the day, you won't be moving with your expectations or them moving with their expectations, rather than it's all about adapting and understanding the environment you are in. That also cuts across business and anything that you're doing. Trying to understand that field, trying to understand how does this thing work. Maybe you are having a false imagination, but that does not mean, since it's not working according to the way you expected it to happen, you just quit. So you just try understanding the various ways to maneuver around that, and you will figure out and find out that you're gonna emerge successful. So that is number 2. The first one was give yourself time. The second one is adapting to changing expectation. The third one, don't judge yourself harshly. I know there are people who, when you do all these things and you have expectations, you believe in something or someone, and things don't work out, and you start believing that you are the reason for all these problems, you start getting depressed, sitting back, overthinking things, and by that way you end up in a very miserable state. Either you lose the business, you lose the people around you, because at the end of the day, you are not sitting back to understand what happened. You are always taking the blame. It's good to take the blame, but sometimes, not even sometimes, when you take the blame in a wise way, asking yourself, how did I contribute to whatever happened? Not always saying I contributed. You ask yourself, how did I? And by that way, you'll of course understand, oh, okay, probably I did this the wrong way. And when you understand that, now you figure out how to do that. And that brings me to my next point, and that is communicating. So when you understand that maybe you contributed into this falling of whatever you are doing, now when you communicate to the relevant people and ask them, probably I was trying to do this and it didn't work out. So probably what would I have done different? You'll be surprised that you'll actually get solutions. Of course, you don't take everything. You look at, they give you suggestions, go reflect on them, work on them. And once you do that, you'll be surprised that things will start working out. Yeah, so communication is very key, even in life, in whatever that you do. Communicate whatever you feel should have happened and whatever is in your heart as well. And that does not mean you start insulting people. You communicate in the right way. Juu unapatanga saa ingine makosa inatokea, si ati ni kijua kitu kubwa, ni juu hauku share out whatever you are feeling. Unaweza pata hata you are doing a business alone and you thought this would go the right way, na unasonga tu. Instead of actually asking, hey, I wanted to try this, and somehow ni kama I'm not making the enough profit that I expected. What is the problem? Am I too pricey? Am I not expressing myself in the right way, or what is wrong? You will be surprised when you communicate that to various people. People will give you suggestions. Of course, you don't pick all of them. You have to be wise as well on what you're picking. So yeah, that's it. Communication is very key. So the first one is give yourself time. The second one, don't judge yourself harshly, or rather adapt to changing expectations. And the fourth one, which is communicate about everything. The fifth one, prepare for problems. That is another way of managing your expectations. Not planning for problems, but preparing just in case it doesn't go that way. What will I do? The fact that you've asked that question, or you've actually asked yourself that question, it's gonna be a very good kickstart in terms of when things don't go the way you expected them to. Ya unapataga ulipanga kitu haukuimagine ina fail vibaya sana, you lose money, you lose things, and all of a sudden you go into depression, and that way na vitu zinaanza kwenda to south just because maybe you never imagined it would go that way. So it's good sometimes to prepare, not to plan, but just preparing to kidogo, like, okay, what if it doesn't work out that way? So what will I do? Will I insult everyone who was part of it? Will I hate myself? No. Just ask yourself, okay, it didn't work out as I expected. Maybe this was not the right idea, and you move on to the next thing. And the last one, which is predicting that others' expectations about you. Yeah, predicting others' expectations about you. People will definitely predict for you. They tell you, huyu mtu wako hapana. Hii biashara yako haitatoboa. Huyu ndiye mtu ulitafuta. Hii ndiye biashara unataka kufanya mtu wangu. Hapana. So when you have that thing in mind, it actually seems like a very small thing, and people tend to ignore, like, mtu haizi niambia mimi kitu na believe. But trust me, they have an influence in your life. When you do something and people are like, you know what, by the msee ni fala, kwani anafikiria ni yeye kwanza kufanya, hii kitu yako haitatoboa. People will always talk, and you have to have that in mind. Like, you be ready for that. People will talk and will have a different expectation or the same expectation with you. So you have to also imagine that. What if I receive the hate? What if I receive the love? How will I react to it? Will I be okay if they hate on me? Will I be open enough to actually see what they're talking about? If it doesn't make sense to me, then let go. If it makes sense to me, then I'll apply that to whatever I am doing. And that applies to everything. Even as now people are approaching the election season. Please, let us manage that expectation about the person you're thinking will win. Yeah, and we'll have a peaceful time, and that is where the peace comes in. When you learn how to manage that can make it or not make it, and I'm okay with any, then that way we will have a peaceful time. Even in life, whatever you do, whatever you expect, learn how to have those 6 things that we have talked about. The first one, give yourself time. The second one, adapt to changing expectations. Don't judge yourself harshly. Communicate about everything. And prepare for problems, and predict what others would expect from you, because that can actually make you or break you when you are not expecting whatever they will say about whatever you are doing. So that is it. That is it for the weekend and for this day. Don't forget to always subscribe. Tell a friend if you haven't subscribed yet. And if you haven't told your friend about it, please do the honors. I am so happy that you took your 15 minutes to listen to whatever I had. I believe it was constructive. If in case you have any other topics you need me to talk about, either with me or with someone else, just comment down there in the comment section. We'll have a good time together. I'll try my very best to share what you would want me to. Enjoy your time, enjoy your weekend. That is your boy Sharon Goge on the mic. Till next Friday at exactly 11:30 a.m. See you. I believe you're gonna enjoy your time. And that is it. Hope you enjoyed. I believe I'm gonna do more of this, but feel free to suggest what you think about this.